What is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video. I really wanted to hold off on doing another rant on LA Knight video. But I can't, because once again, I have already seen the writing on the wall of what WWE is doing. And maybe other people don't see it. I seen it 5 months ago. I seen it 7 months ago. I've made multiple videos talking about this and talking about the way WWE books and the way they are what they are trying to do. WWE is burying LA Knight. That is the reality of the situation, whether you want to believe it or not. I said it months ago. I have said it for a long time because I've watched this company for a long time. And I know what they are doing. And it's really sad because the guy could be probably one of WWE's biggest stars if WWE actually gave him a fucking shot. But they don't want to. Now, he is a sponsor of Slim Jim, so he might still be around. But he is not the future for them. It's not. He should be. But again, for whatever reason, and for whatever reason, because he's 43 years old, even though half the roster are in their late 30s, early 40s, for whatever goddamn reason, they just don't see it. Now, before I get into the bullshit that we've seen on Raw and SmackDown, I want to talk about this whole notion about Triple H, okay? Because a lot of people are under the impression that because Triple H brought LA Knight back as LA Knight when Vince McMahon wanted him to stay as Max Dupree and wanted him to be a manager and probably would have eventually gotten released if he had stayed into that whole role earlier. Then, of course, Vince McMahon stepped down, and when the allegations came out in 2022, and a lot of people then were under the impression that because Triple H let LA Knight be LA Knight, people are under the impression that because Triple H gave him that opportunity, that Triple H can't really hate LA Knight because he's the one who gave him that chance. He's the one who gave him that opportunity. And I hate to break this to you guys because a lot of you all really don't understand this. Okay? A lot of you all don't really understand this. Triple H in 2022 booking is not the same as Triple H 2025 booking. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is, while yes, Triple H was booking the shows in 2022 when he took over for Vince, the fact of the matter is it was still Vince McMahon's company. It was not TKO. It was not Endeavor. It was not that. You notice how a lot of people are complaining about Triple H's booking now ever since TKO took over? That they've slowly started to see Triple H's booking suck. But yet, the same people that said that back in 2022, when the company was still technically owned by Vince, when Vince decided to step down as creative during that period when the allegations first arose, Triple H was booking the shows and, booking the storylines going forward. And yet Triple H had the freedom to do whatever he wanted. Notice that key word. He had the freedom to do whatever he wanted once once Vince McMahon stepped away. Notice how now he doesn't. And yes, you could always say, well, he's booking the show still and all this stuff. It's different ownership. Different ownership. Yeah, Triple H isn't directly booking the shows. Triple H isn't directly, I'm sorry, not directly, but yeah, Triple H is directly booking the shows, but he has company overlords to deal with that are like, hey, can you book it this way? Or hey, you can book this. Plus, he's got The Rock to answer to, because obviously The Rock meddles in storylines now too, because he is a board member himself. And yes, I do believe he has meddled into more storylines than a lot of people think, not just his. The Rock, brought his writer, who was a part, Brian, who was part of the Attitude Era, who also has an influence in this as well, for better or for worse. So yes, while Triple H is head of creative, same way he was in 2022, the 2022 booking of Triple H's booking was far, far better than the one he has now, because he has to answer to overlords. Okay? So when people use this whole, oh, well, LA Knight, he should be grateful for Triple H giving him, and allowing him to be his character that he was in NXT. We're past that honeymoon, because Triple H in 2022 was okay with him back then. He ain't okay with him now. Okay, and that's just the fact of the matter. All right? He doesn't like that he got over the way he got over. Okay? Because Triple H has the same mindset when it comes to getting over as Vince McMahon does. He learned from Vince McMahon. He was molded by Vince McMahon. Yes, is he better at doing stories than Vince did in Vince's last days? Yes. Because you could see the fresh takes he was doing in 2022. But now he has so many other elements going on. And because of this is what results in LA Knight getting buried. LA Knight got over. He got massively over. And still, despite all these swings of losses, the ESPN articles that have, basically told WWE off about, them not pushing LA Knight, it's the same shit. He got organically over, and they don't like that. The fact of the matter is, they're going to keep doing this charade until people lose interest. This whole, we're going to make it, we're going to make you think that he's going to win Money in the Bank, and then, he doesn't win it. Or, we're going to make you think he's going to win the title, and then he doesn't do it. Because they know they can't get the crowd to stop being interested in him. So what they're just going to do is they're going to keep teasing this bullshit until you guys lose interest. That's just the fact of the matter. I called this months ago, and it still stands. Okay? This is what they're doing. That's why I told you all to continue to hashtag to hope to change this shit, but it's still not fucking working. We see the dislikes when they do this shit. We see the dislikes with Jey Uso when they do this shit. And yet still nothing. CM Punk on Raw never once mentioned LA Knight, even though he a couple weeks earlier wished that it would have been him in the that won the Royal Battle. Remember, he said that? And then he doesn't mention him at all. All right, and then he was advertised to be on Raw and then wasn't. Yes, card subject to change, but still, it shows. It shows literally where WWE stands, to blindly take him out. And I even said this. I said storylines with LA Knight have not been his. They have always been him just being added to it. He's been added to the storylines as a secondary character, even though people want him to be the main character of the storylines. This is the problem. And now he is once again going to be another thorn in whoever is returning or coming back or debut, whatever. He is going to be a thorn, and it is going to ultimately start the burial that they're going to do. I wouldn't even put it past them the next day they cut him, because You know, everyone's like, oh, well, the sign thing, it didn't matter. It's like, yeah, it did. You put the fucking damn banner. I don't care what any of these stupid journalists say. There's no fucking way that did not fucking get to WWE. When he fucking took the sign that said, we want LA Knight, not Jey Uso. And they put the damn LA Knight banner over the Jey Uso part. Okay, when he took that sign, the previous Raw or whatever. You know, don't fucking tell me that they didn't try to, don't tell me that they didn't punish him. And now we're going to have the SmackDown thing, and now you're going to give it to Jey. I am already predicting that Jey Uso is going to win this fucking tournament, even though he doesn't deserve it. Okay? He doesn't. If anything proved Saturday night's main event, Jey Uso's not a main eventer. Period. End of story. I don't give a fuck how good his fucking entrances are. I don't give a fuck about his fucking entrances. He was lazy as fuck in that match. And that's being fucking real. I fucking said it when in the fucking review. And I try to be a little professional about it. All right. Fucking Punk fucking stomped on his fucking head, okay, when he fucked up a neck breaker, okay, and Punk had to fucking redo it, okay, right? Then what happened, there was something else in the match that I still, to this day, don't understand why Punk did it, but if you remember early in that match, you know, they were outside the ring, Punk fucking got a water bottle and fucking started pouring water on fucking Jey Uso. Okay, and I was like, what the fuck was that for? Because kayfabe-wise, why would you put water on your opponent? If your opponent is knocked out, right? If your opponent is knocked out, you want them to be knocked out. You want them to be dazed because you want to pin them in kayfabe. That's what you do. So why would you pour a bunch of water on your opponent so he can get back to 2 or whatever? You know, get conscious again. I never understood that spot by Punk. But now that I'm thinking about it, what if, because I heard rumors that, you know, people think Jey Uso was hungover, that he may have been drunk or something like, I don't know if he really was drunk. I don't know if he was hungover, but based on what we saw in that fucking match, like, I can only assume that maybe it's kayfabe. I don't fucking know. But, you know, this is stuff I have to fucking take into account. And this is where I'm going to fucking say he's lazy until I'm proven that this was fucking kayfabe. Because that just doesn't make fucking sense to me. That he would pour a water bottle over Jey Uso to get him back conscious again or whatever. And then fucking we have, what's it called? The neck breaker spot, you know, like, I just don't get it. I don't get it. You know, I don't want to hear, oh, well, it's because he's an Uso or he's a, you know, a Fatu or whatever, or a Samoan, whatever. And I'm like, dude, this guy doesn't have it as a main eventer if this is what he's doing in the actual main. This was like, I think, his first main event match, right? Or no, he did the WrestleMania tag match. He did do the WrestleMania tag match. Okay, but that was the tag match again, you know. So the only main event before this was his first single main event, I believe, right? I was the Roman Reigns Hell in a, because didn't he do a Roman Reigns Hell in a Cell match like in 2001 or something? Or no, that actually was in 2020 because that was during the COVID, right? Okay, so he did do that, but that was during the pandemic too. Okay, so outside of pandemic, when Roman was carrying him, okay, you know, this was like his first singles match in a crowd, okay, because main event, because WrestleMania, his main event night 1 was a tag match, okay, which he's good as a tag team, you know, I'm not saying he ain't good as a tag team, but as a single wrestler, I don't think he's that good. I'm sorry, he's not that good, and you know, I just don't want to, like, because everybody gets the wrong idea. It's like, oh, when I criticize a fucking wrestler. But straight up, there's a lot of criticism for Jey Uso in his wrestling style. Plus, not to mention, he didn't really he didn't really look that good. I mean, Punk was really carrying him for most of that match. I mean, be quite honest, the Saturday Night Main Event match, which again, this was like kind of his first singles main event in a crowd, you know, not counting COVID, right? Okay, that wasn't a tag match. Okay, and that's what you give. And then you got him having an easy path to get in there. What? Because they're gonna turn him heel. You know, the tribal, what was it, apprentice or whatever, or heir. Like, what the fuck, dude? He doesn't have it. He doesn't have it. I'm sorry, he doesn't have it. And they're gonna give that, and that is gonna be John Cena's last match. Him losing to Jay fucking Uso. All right. That's his last match. Like, that's fucking ridiculous. It should be LA. In a real world scenario, the choice should be LA Knight. LA Knight teamed up with Cena. Okay, right? Right before he makes his announcement for his retirement tour. Because I think that was shortly before, a couple months before it, or whatever. Like, if anybody should got that freaking thing, it should be LA Knight. But of course, WWE is not going to do that because they don't want to. He's not their guy. All right. For whatever reason, I don't know why Jay is their guy. I don't understand why Jay's the guy, you know, other than, you know, him being in that family, being in the Samoan family. But do I think he should get it? Get the nod over LA Knight? No, I don't. LA Knight has done way more. He has the merchandise. He has the fans. He has the crowd. I would say better than Jey Uso. Jey Uso's more of a guy that gets camera angles to show the crowd pleasing. Even though we're starting to see people boo him now. We're starting to see signs that say that he stinks. Okay. And we're seeing people cheer for LA Knight, but of course the cameras will never pan to the crowd that wants LA, or that is cheering for LA Knight. You'll never see that from WWE because they don't want people to see that. They don't want the television audience to see that. They don't want the YouTube audience to see that. Because it's those audiences that see what we see, that we want LA Knight. But WWE doesn't want LA Knight. That's the fucking problem. And I've been saying this for months, okay? And yes, if it was LA Knight versus CM Punk at WrestleMania, that would be a tough sell. It's the same thing with Saturday Night's Main Event because I really want to see LA Knight win that title. As much as I loved CM Punk being the champion again. Because obviously I'm a big CM Punk fan. But LA Knight deserves it. LA Knight deserves the title more than CM Punk. He earned that right. He earned it for years on end, being there, doing what he's doing, getting his organic character over. But for whatever reason, WWE just doesn't want to do it. And I don't think, by the way, the people that believe it's going to be LA Knight versus Punk at WrestleMania, it's not happening. As much as I would love to say that I'm wrong and he wins the Rumble at Saudi Arabia, okay, I don't buy it. I think it will be more teasing again if they did decide to do it. It would just be like with the Money in the Bank shit. It's like, oh yeah, there's a strong possibility, and then boom, he gets eliminated right away. You know, because that's what they fucking do. You know, that has become the trademark for WWE. Hype him up about possibly winning, and then, oh yeah, we're just gonna fuck him over. Because that's what they fucking do. They don't want LA Knight to be champion. They don't care. Okay? And they're going to keep doing this until people lose interest, and then they'll just sweep them off under the rug. Like they did kind of to Braun Strowman. Even though Braun Strowman got somewhat better attention than LA Knight did. But at the peak of Braun Strowman's popularity, I said it. And I've been on YouTube long enough for people that were subscribed to me back in 2016 to 2018, or even going into as far as 2020. If you remember, I talked about this, about Braun Strowman, how they kept fucking Braun Strowman over. All right. Now, that was a little different because they kept trying to make it seem like he was going to win the title. But they also, at the same time, were giving Braun Strowman more victories than LA Knight in comparison. That's kind of the difference. But with LA Knight, they're not doing that. That's the problem. I believe WrestleMania, it's going to be, unfortunately, Braun Breaker versus CM Punk, even though or at least it seems like they're going that way. Because I just, like, and maybe not, maybe they're going to feud at Survivor Series, or maybe it will be Logan Paul, or maybe it'll just be War Games. I just don't, because they really invested in him as being the future. Which, don't get me wrong, I think Braun Breaker's a talented wrestler. But if you're gonna tell me that he's more popular than LA Knight, I'd fucking tell you you're crazy. Because he's not. He doesn't have the merchandise sales like LA Knight did, and still doesn't. But then again, I don't think Gunther also, like, I don't even. What is Gunther? That's another thing, because Gunther's coming back soon too. What's Gunther's t-shirt? Because I don't even, I don't know that many people that, like, actually wear Gunther's t-shirts. Like, if there is any. Because they never really advertise it, but yet he's a world champion. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a former world champion. That's another thing that I just don't get. It's like, because if the whole idea is making a star a world champion is so you can get sales and shit like that, what has Gunther done? I mean, yeah, he's a great wrestler. I'm not taking anything about that, but he doesn't have a fucking character. He's a good wrestler, but he doesn't have a fucking character. That's the problem. He's just like, I'm here, chop, 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 fucking leave. He's a strong heel. He's not a dirty heel like dirty Dominic Mysterio. Like, he actually, gets clean victories, not cheating victories, but as a heel. But, that's what I'm saying. Like, what is this company's whole ideal at this point? Is it about making money, or is it just making whoever's champion now? It's such a backwards logic. And I'm not trying to say Vince McMahon was fucking better, because to a certain extent he kind of did this shit too, but he did it a little different than the way TKO is doing it. But at the same time, we're still getting the same whole shtick of favoritism, over what the fans actually want. And that's the biggest problem. But I'll just keep saying this, keep saying we want LA Knight, because, you got to keep sticking it to the man, and keep saying that we're going to keep cheering for this guy until you do something. I don't know, but this is fucking, like I said it before, I'll say it again, guys. I'm very, very disgusted with what's going on. LA Knight deserves better. Yeah. Comment, rate, all that stuff, right? Subscribe, and hit that bell. And yeah, that's it. I am the SS Ultimate Goku. I'm out of here. Peace.